So in this section, we'll be learning how to engage with the business model canvas and using it to build a minimum viable product. That is the first business plan to help us properly navigate through how we relatively create a solution and then how this solution reach to the customer, defining the target customers, and then what is needed to be able to put this solution in front of the audience, as well as what we will gain in return as a company, and then the various people that need to work also to make our idea a reality, which makes it a more complex task. Therefore, we recommend that entrepreneurs use the business model canvas, a visual tool created by Alexander Osterwalder, to facilitate the design process. The visual component of the tool simplifies the design process by making it easier to understand how and the various components of a business affect each other. It also enables you to involve the rest of your team and advisors in the process. So the business model canvas consists of 9 interrelated building blocks. So firstly, we have to define our customer, and having defined our customer using the design thinking method, now we have to segment them, and that is where you have your customer segments. Now this block involves describing the target customer. The customer segment talks about the different group of people, organization, and enterprise aims to reach and serve. That is, for whom are we creating value, or who are our most important customers. Now here you want to make sure to list out your customers accordingly, the different segments. Now your business could be serving 2 or 3 more customer segments, because your customer segments can consist of a multifaceted customer base, and this can be from B2B. B2B means business to business. Maybe your business is serving other businesses, and it can also be from B2C, which is your business is serving directly to the customers. Also, you can have a B2B2C, which means your business is serving both the other business owners and the direct customers. All right, so here you want to make sure that you know who your customers, your business is serving. Now you would now properly define them as well by putting in their segments. Okay, so your business could be serving both the adults and the young people, or professionals and non-professionals, and it could be gender based or anything at all. You want to make sure that you segment your audience and properly give them a defined value proposition, because each customer has a value proposition that suits them. So this is what your customer segment helps does. Now the customer segment could be a mass market, could be a niche market, could be a segmented market, could be a diversified market, could be a multi-sided platform. The next on the list is your value proposition. Your value proposition tells what are you offering your customers, what is that getting done for them, and do they care about what you are proposing to them. So your value proposition is a list or the bundle of products and services that create value for a specific customer segment. What value do we deliver to the customer? Which one of our customers' problem are we helping to solve? What bundles of products and services are we offering to each customer segment? Now you want to make sure to list out all of these things so that you properly know what value you are proposing to your customer, and then it is easier to sell to them because you are meeting a specific need of theirs that they want met. Element of value propositions, we can have newness, that is you are introducing a new thing into the market, or rather you are introducing a new thing to them. It can be performance, that is you have a higher performance, your product has a higher performance than other products. It can be customization, it can be getting the job done, this can be design, a new design entirely, this can be brand status, price, cost reduction, risk reduction, accessibility, convenience, or usability. The process of arriving at a value proposition is broadly covered in some of the materials that have been given to you for download, so you can use the materials there to define a proper value proposition. Now, the business model canvas is easier to complete once you have determined the value proposition. Since a value proposition is unique to each target customer, in this sense, the value proposition is an aggregation or bundle of benefits that a company offers customers. The next is the channels, how a company communicates and reaches its customer segments to deliver a value proposition. Through which channels do our customer segments want to be reached? Which channels work best? Which ones are most efficient? How are we integrating them with customer routines? Now, it is important to know which channels your customers use best and then use it to also reach them. This could be online, it could be offline, and it could be through organizations, it could be through network of people, it could be through word of mouth. It is just important that you know which of the channels is best used for your customers, or rather to reach your customers. And then you should make sure that whatever channel you're choosing, these are channels that are easily accessible by your target audience. Not just easily accessible, but also that these are the channels that your target audience uses the most, and then this is where you can get them. The various phases of your channels are the awareness channels. How do you raise awareness about your company's products and services, and it gets to the target audience? Second one is evaluation. How do you help customers evaluate your organization's or your company's value proposition? Then the third one is the purchase. How do you allow customers to purchase specific products or service? Is it through cash or through online payments? And then this channel has to be basically what the customer segment is used to or can easily access. Then the fourth one is delivery. How do you deliver the value proposition to your customer? Is it going to also be online or offline? It is very important that you know which medium your customers would like to be reached. Then the fifth one is the after sales. How do you provide post-purchase customer support? Okay, so when your customers have complaints or they need your help on how to use or how to service your product or services, how do they reach out to you? So these channels are very, very much important. How do you open them, and how can your target customers or target audience access these channels? Then the next one on the business model canvas is the customer relationships. The customer relationship building block describes the type of relationships a company establishes with specific customer segments. A company should clarify the type of relationship it wants to establish with each customer segment. So, what type of relationship does each of our customer segments expect us to establish and maintain with them? Now, you have the personal assistants. Your customer may want you to relate with them personally. This relationship is based on human interaction. The customer can communicate with a real customer representative to get help during the sales process or after the purchase is completed. This may happen on site at the point of sale, through call centers, or by emails, or through other means. Now, the second could be dedicated personal assistant. Now, this relationship involves dedicating a customer representative, especially to an individual client. Usually, banks usually do this while they attach you to your personal bank, especially if you are a big company. It represents the deepest and most intimate type of relationship and normally develops over a long period of time. Now, the third could be self-service. In this type of relationship, a company maintains no direct relationship with customers. It provides all the necessary means for customers to help themselves. This is mostly used by telecommunication companies to ensure that their customers are able to help themselves. So that's why they provide some self-service help through USSD. Even banks also use this form of customer relationship. Then you can have an automated service. This type of relationship mixes a more sophisticated form of customer self-service with automated processes. Also, on customer relationship could be communities, and then we have co-creation platforms as well that your customers may want to be reached or they more want to create a relationship through. The next on the BMC is your revenue streams. The revenue streams building block represents the cash the company generates from each customer segment. The cost must be subtracted from the revenue to create earnings. A company must ask itself, for what value is each customer segment truly willing to pay? Successfully answering that question allows the firm to generate one or more revenue streams from each customer segment. Each revenue stream may have different pricing mechanisms. Now, in the revenue stream generation, it is always advisable to have not less than 3 revenue streams. So, for instance, if you are into tailoring, fashion design business, you could be generating revenue from sewing for your customers. And secondly, you could generate revenue from selling of fabrics. Thirdly, you could generate revenue from training people on how to sew. Now, what this does is help you stay sustainable in business, because business dealings are usually seasonal. Every business has its own season as well. So if one season is not working for you, for instance, you are not having much customer coming into your space to sew clothes at that particular time, your training could be the ones generating revenues for you. That is, you training other people in the field. That could be what is bringing in income for your business at that season, or it is the fabrics that is bringing in sales for you at that point. It is better to have at least 3 revenue sources rather than having one, because when you run out of season, you may not have something to fall back on that continually brings in the revenue for your company. So you must realize you must know that every business has its season, and then sales goes up and sales goes down. But if you have several revenue streams in the same business, it is good for your business sustainability. So for what are our customers really willing to pay? For what do they currently pay? How are they currently paying? How would they prefer to pay? How much does each revenue stream contribute to overall revenue? So this revenue stream could be asset sale, could be usage fee, could be subscription fee, could be lending or renting fees, it could be licensing fees, it could be brokerage, and it could be advertising. Now, the next on the BMC is the key resources. The key resources building block describes the most important assets required to make a business model work. Now, the key resources basically is you listing out what you need to make your business work. It may be your space, it may be the machines, it may be the online platform that you need to set up to make your business work, the various work requirements, utilities, your staffing, and all that will make your business work. Now, most usually your key resources are physical, they are intellectual, they are human, and then they are financial resources. They are basically this basically sits around these 4 elements. Next is your key activities. The key activities building block describes the most important things a company must do to make its business model work. Like, for instance, still going about the tailoring business, your key activity is sewing clothes. Sewing clothes are your key activities and then reaching out to customers as well. Marketing is a key activity in your business. In other words, your key activity are the things that if you do not do, your business is going to die. So you want to make sure to list each of them out properly. And the next is your key partners. The key partnership building block describes the network of suppliers and partners that makes the business model work. Now, in your business, there are key people that you need to partner with that makes your business work. For instance, in the tailoring business, you need those that will supply you your fabrics for you to be able to get your job done. You need those that will supply you other materials like your thread and needles. So those are your key partners. You also need people who service the machine. So the next on the BMC is the cost structure. The cost structure describes all costs incurred to operate a business model. Now you want to make sure to list out the various costs that it entails for your business to run properly. Now the building block describes the most important costs incurred while operating under a particular business model. In determining your cost structure, you want to look at other building blocks and see what it will require for them to function properly. Your cost structures could include your rental fee, your marketing fees, your staffing and payroll, the channels you are using for your distribution of the product, and so on. To better understand the business model canvas, we will take Facebook as a case study.